365 times 2. Calculator, please. Hi guys, welcome back to Let's Talk with Chizzy, and today we'll be talking about investing for beginners. Just a few like basic things that you need to know to be able to feel a little bit confident about going into investing, especially if you have no idea where to start. So hopefully, at the end of this video, you'll feel a bit more confident about going into investing or starting investing, whatever that looks like for you right now. And yeah, let's get right into it. So generally, investing is not as difficult as it sounds. And I think one of the things that discourages people from going into it is that you feel like you have to know a lot about what's going on before you can start, which is not true. Till today, I still don't know everything there is to know about investing. And I would say I'm pretty confident. I actually enjoy doing it now. So yeah, you really don't need to know everything. You just need to be willing to start. Know like what your goal is. What are you looking to get out of this? Are you just trying to save for the long term? To just have like things that you're investing in that are either appreciating in value, or are you trying to make like a quick buck and just get out of the game? So know what your goal is. Are you short term? Are you long term? Are you a little bit of both? And then from there you can know like what kind of stocks you're even looking for to invest in, or do you want to do crypto stocks like Tesla? For me, that was at least that's just an example, because it's a volatile stock. It goes up and down like crazy, or at least more than the average stock. It was last year, and so that was really one of those stocks where you can make your profit and go. Or you can also still, there are still people who are holding their Tesla stocks. They bought them 2 years ago, 5 years ago, and they're holding. Even though Tesla has skyrocketed in the last year alone, they're still holding because their goal is long-term investing. So don't base your investments on other people, what you're seeing people put out there. You decide for yourself what that looks like for you. So yeah, to invest, the first thing, I just have a few tips that I wrote down, things that I think maybe are helpful and have probably helped me as well, is, number one, like I said, you don't need to know everything. You can start where you are. Not everyone knows everything. Even some people who package as if they know a lot, it's really just packaging. Some people are knowledgeable, but yeah, it's not, and you don't need to know everything to invest. So start, get moving. First steps: open a brokerage account. There are several options out there. There's Fidelity, there's Robinhood. Robinhood is my personal favorite, and of course this video is not sponsored by anybody, but Robinhood is my personal favorite because it's user friendly, especially for beginners. I would actually still be using Robinhood, but my job really allows me to use Fidelity, so that's why I switched. But if not, I would definitely still be using Robinhood. You probably have a friend maybe who has a Robinhood account already. They can share their code with you, their invite code with you. That way you both get a free stock, a random free stock for signing up. So there's Robinhood. There's also Trove. For those who may be watching from Nigeria, Trove is a brokerage. You can open a brokerage account with Trove, and you are able to trade on US stocks as well from Nigeria. So it's actually founded by Nigerians for that purpose, and it's also user friendly as well. So you can also look into that. Coinbase is if you are interested in crypto, which again, you really don't have to know everything there is to know about it. Honestly, learn as you go and pick what works for you. But Coinbase, and if you are interested in crypto, I will link my Coinbase code below so you can join that, and we both get $10 worth of Bitcoin when you use the code. So you can use that link to join and get started with crypto. Yeah, those are just a few options at least. Another thing is, don't be so quick to start investing if you have debt on you.
Plus 120,000.
If you're still trying to pay off student loans and all of that, have a plan in place to start paying those off first before you jump into investing. Which goes back to my point about not just following the crowd to invest. Don't just invest because it's something everybody's saying I should do. look at your situation and analyze it and see if this is a good time for you to invest. If this is not a good time, it's not the end of the world. Like, you can plan for it. Maybe you're almost done paying your debt and you have a plan in place already, and you'll be done in like summer or by the end of the year. So you can focus on that, finish paying that debt off, and then you have your plan. Like, you already have a plan in place to start investing once that debt is paid off, you know. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean like, oh, if you have debt you cannot invest. If you have a plan in place, a structured plan in place, that you're gradually paying off that debt and you still have a little change to spare, then you can do both. Like, again, analyze your situation and do what's best for you, what works best for you. The reason I mentioned paying off debt first is because you don't want to keep accruing more interest over that debt, and then you're making money, but then the money you're making with investing, you're still going to end up paying it off with that interest, like those interest fees that you're accruing the longer you have that debt like ongoing. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
This is good. I love.
So don't get carried away with what other people are saying or what other people are portraying on Instagram. All not packaging. Like, Instagram is what people want you to see, is what they'll put out there. So don't let that be what you're like basing all your decisions on, because it's not. So you have your brokerage account set up. Now the money that you're going to use to invest, again, people who post that they've made 3k, or they put it 3k, they made 50k, or stuff like that. They put it 1 million naira, they've made 2 million naira. Again, if you don't have 1 million naira, if you don't have $100, it's okay. Everyone starts somewhere, right? These days more people are showing you the entire journey from where they started, but most times people show you the journey when it's already glamorous, when they've already reached the 1 million mark. But different people start at different places, obviously, but everyone starts somewhere. So don't despise the small beginnings. Like, I think it's really Bible verse. Don't despise the days of your humble beginnings. Like, if it's only $10 you can be investing monthly or daily at this point in your life, that's okay. If it's only 100 naira, if it's only 500 naira, if it's only 1k, please start where you can, where you can afford, and build it up from there. And as long as you have a structured plan in place and you're committed to this, it will be okay. Like, do what works best for you, and don't let anyone make you feel less than because, oh, you can only afford, like, bruh, what? Please, no. So yeah, if it's $10 you want to start off with, or you want to bring out a certain portion of your paycheck to devote to investing, that's also okay. For me, I think that's kind of what works for me. Is once I take out my allowance, which covers bills and all of that, I move the rest to like investing, either crypto or like my stocks. So that works for me. So it's like every 2 weeks I have a portion of money that I'm putting into investing, if that makes sense. So yeah, decide what amount that is for you and start there. Build it up from there and it will be okay. Don't compare your journey to another person's own. Just do what works for you and move with it. So if you want to go into like crypto or like securities, which are like your stocks and ETFs, and crypto is like your Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of that, decide like, or if you want to do a bit of both. I personally do a bit of both. Let me know in the comments if you guys want like maybe a few recommendations. I am not by any means a fortune teller, so what I'm telling you is just based on the YouTube videos I'm also watching, the recommendations I'm also seeing people who are analyzing the market bring up, and that's what I'm following. So if you guys want me to put together like a list of recommendations for cryptos or for stocks or ETFs, mostly because I pretty much only trade ETFs because it's a conflict of interest with my job. So I trade ETFs, exchange traded funds, and an ETF is basically a basket of stocks in one. So for example, you can have a tech ETF, so it will comprise of stocks of different tech companies all in one. So let's say you have your Apple, you have your Facebook, you have Microsoft, and those three can make up one ETF, and it would just, so if you buy one share of that ETF, then you would have one share of each of those companies. So if Facebook falls, for example, if their stock price falls, for instance, you will be safe because Apple, you still have Apple and Microsoft as well. The price of that ETF is not just based on only Facebook, it's based on all three. And so it's a way of diversifying your like portfolio a little bit more. Again, I am not a fortune teller. I can give you a recommendation and it will fall, and it's not the end of the world. It will start back up, okay? Same as cryptos as well. If you want me to give a list of recommendations for cryptos, let me know. So this also goes back into like the money aspect, right? Don't put into investing money that you cannot afford to lose. if you are making, this is a very random number, but $5,000 a month, for instance. Maybe $5,000 a month, you're kind of balling, but anyways, if you're making $5,000 a month, for instance, by the time you've taken out your rent, your bills, your allowance, and all of that, and maybe you're saving up for a car or a house or something, you have some commitments you have at the moment that you're saving up for, or maybe you're giving some of it to your parents, whatever responsibilities you have. By the time you've taken out all that money, if all you have left is $100 or $50 that you have to invest, that's okay, put it in. If you're investing, right, don't put in money that if you lose it, you will get a heart attack. Find out what your risk appetite is and invest based on that. Don't invest based on another person's risk appetite, please. Some people will bring out news, there's this guy who invested, like, I think him and his wife's like life savings, like maybe he took from their joint savings account or something like that, and put, like, I think it was all of their life savings or a big majority of their life savings into Bitcoin. This was like a few years ago, and she almost wanted to divorce him for it or something like that. And thankfully, honestly, thankfully Bitcoin has risen now, like from like 5 years ago to now he's like a millionaire, if not more, depending on how much you put in, right? So that was an investment that was lucky to like actually come, like, be fruitful, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. Please don't put your life savings into Bitcoin or into investing, which is why I said, like, if it's $2 you want to start with a day, put in $2 a day into your investment account, or put in $2 a day into transferring $2 a day into, Robinhood. Robinhood is free, by the way. It's like no fees. Like, that's why I'm like, Robinhood is really nice. No fees or anything. So if you want to be transferring $2 a day into your Robinhood account, that's okay. $2 by the time you've added up, for a whole year, $2 in a whole year, that's like what, 2 times 365. My mental math skills have really gone down the drain. 365 times 2 is like something, but that's a lot of money. That's the point I'm trying to make, is you've already like gotten to like thousands. I think 3 times 2 is 6. 365 times 2. Calculator, please. 730. You're investing $730, right? So yeah, go at your own pace, honestly, and don't be like, there's a rise, like Bitcoin is rising now, I need to buy now. No, honey, another rise will come. After every rise, I can't remember whose channel I was watching, but they were like, after every rise comes a dip. Like, Bitcoin rose, it rose to 60 something K last week, right? Today is Sunday. It rose to like 60 something K, and just today or yesterday alone, the thing fell back to 51K.
Can you imagine? Hey, wow.
I mean, I was just laughing because I was like, exactly, like, people who now saw that 60K and were like, oh, these Bitcoin people were actually serious, let me buy it now. They bought, and now they're like 9K down. Like, after every rise comes a dip. So don't be carried away by, oh, the market is rising now, I need to buy now. Relax. Obviously, don't be lazy about it, but take your time and plan, and don't rush into it. Like, oh, you just want to put, $1,000 that you can't afford, and before you know it, when that $1,000 is looking like $500, you are crying like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? You shouldn't have gone that way. Like, there is no need for that stress in life. Now, that's another thing. When you're investing, right, there will always be highs and lows. You don't actually lose your money until you sell. You buy a stock, you buy one Tesla stock that costs, I don't know how much it is now, probably like $800, $600. You buy one Tesla stock, right? And you bought it at $600. And now the stock is trading for $400. You are down $200, but you have not lost your $200 yet. If you sell when it's at that $400, then you have now lost. The same way, if it's rising, you are up. It's a good feeling, but you have not actually made that money. If it rises to $800, you have not actually made that profit of $200 unless you actually sell it at that $800. So as long as you haven't sold, you haven't really lost or gained anything. So it's okay. It's a level. It's like it's I don't know. It's like a playing ground. It's like a safe playing ground, kind of. Generally, you shouldn't panic when the market is down, because it will go back up, unless you invested in a stock that it was a risky, like this is like a startup, or from the news you already see that this is like a risky trade or a risky stock to invest in that could go up, or crypto, if it's like a crypto that because there's a lot of like coins right now or cryptocurrencies right now that you can invest in, and there are some of them that will rise. There's some that have risen, you know, maybe spiked up to like $1 and then fallen to like $0.0. They never rose again, or at least they haven't risen back from the grave till today, you know. So unless it's like something like that, and which in that case you should put in the money that you know you're okay with losing. So if that's $5 for you, then put in $5 into that crypto, and so if it goes down to $0, you are not affected, you're not flinching, because it's $5. You can afford to lose $5. If that amount that you can afford to lose in your own pocket, if you're balling like Bill Gates and co, and that amount is $100,000, I want to know you, please. But if that amount is $100,000, put it in that crypto, that same crypto, so that way if that $100,000, you know, falls or does not, if that crypto doesn't rise again, you're not really bothered, because it's not like, you know, you planned for that. Like when you're investing, you should always, don't just invest that I can make $100,000, but I can also lose. So you should be okay with either side of the spectrum. Now, whatever amount you can put that you'll be okay with either side of the spectrum, that's your amount that you should be investing with. Please don't give yourself unnecessary headache in this life. There are a lot of things that are already giving us headache. Don't let this add to your headache, okay? But yeah, that's like a little, you know, intro to what investing looks like for me. Again, if you guys want to hear more about like how I personally invest, let me know. If there are certain things you want to actually know about like investing for beginners, let me know. I can make this a series, or probably a short series. I don't know that I have that much to say, but if you're interested, sure, let me know. If not, we can just move to the next video. But yeah, thank you for watching. Go ahead and subscribe, like, comment down below, and share this video to anyone, young, old, that you that may be interested in investing. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.